have, as a family, we've all got memories of being in here. We weren't supposed to be in here, and certainly when we were little, we were really discouraged from coming to, interrupt him when he was making stuff. This was his space. But we did also get invited in to help and to make things as well. So if he had commissions on, or he was building up kind of armature for sculptures or things, it was a brilliant thing as a child to be brought in, handed lumps of kind of wet clay and told to throw it at the wall as he was kind of building up shapes and things. That was great fun. But I was trying to reflect on sort of particular moments of being in here with him, and I suppose kind of as I was kind of older, much older, probably late teens or something, being in here when he was making, he'd been commissioned to do a portrait of Sorley MacLean, and he was in early stages of sort of moulding the head, and he was talking about the difficulties, I suppose, of making a portrait. And I've found these just kind of on the shelf. So these are kind of plaster casts of the work at various different stages. And I remember him talking about, the difficulty of how you create a portrait in 3 dimensions, because one of the difficulties, and it was quite funny, he was kind of saying, of course, one of the problems that you've got to deal with as a sculptor is that, people have the back of their head. You have to somehow kind of make this thing a 3-dimensional portrait, and it has to be something that, somebody can walk round and view in, from all sides, and for it to feel right. So there was quite a lot around, how he spent quite a lot of time working up and trying different versions of the head, and getting it to a point where it felt right. He'd known Sorley, and been friends with Sorley many years before, but this was after he died, so he was working from photographs, so it just makes it even more difficult to then sort of make this into something that is believable. And we talked about the fact that Sorley had this kind of sort of very traditional kind of comb over hairdo, how you actually kind of get that shaped into a head that is going to look not comic. So there was something he was talking about, getting the likeness of the person in the portrait, and getting that right, but at the same time also as the artist being able to bring out the sitter's personality. And from knowing Sorley, he kind of had thought of him as quite a serious man, very critical thinker, but also that he had never turned up anywhere without his tie and his jacket on. So, and he had kind of quite a serious look. So he kind of felt it really important to make sure that this was kind of captured in some way in the head, and that was part and parcel of how you got the personality into the work.